Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. If you've ever found yourself getting angry or bothered by someone's behavior, you're definitely not alone. We all have those moments where someone says or does something that pushes our buttons. But here's the good news. You can totally stop this from happening. Yes, you heard me right. Imagine staying calm and composed no matter what life or other people throw your way. Today, we're going to dive deep into exactly how to make this a reality. By the end of this video, you'll have practical strategies to stay unbothered, no matter the situation. So, let's get started. Understanding anger and emotional responses. First off, let's understand why we get angry in the first place. Anger is a completely natural emotional response. It's our brain's way of telling us that something isn't right. Maybe we feel disrespected, frustrated, or threatened in some way. But here's the thing. Most of the time, we don't need to react with anger. Think about it. Most situations that trigger anger are actually very small in the grand scheme of things. A rude comment, a late train, someone cutting in line. These are all things that we can actually choose to ignore. But we often let these little things hijack our peace of mind because of how our brains are wired. The science behind it. When something happens that makes us angry, our brain releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. This prepares us for fight-or-flight mode. Now, back in the day when we were hunters and gatherers, this response was useful. It helped us survive. But today, not so much. In modern life, most of the things that make us angry are not life-threatening at all. So, we don't really need to fight. The trick is learning to recognize the feeling before we let it control us. How triggers work and how to manage them. Now, let's talk about triggers, those little things that seem to set us off. A trigger is anything that causes a strong emotional response. It could be someone's rude behavior, a disagreement, or even just feeling misunderstood. But here's the key. The trigger itself is not the problem. It's how we react to it that makes the difference, okay? If we can learn to control our reactions, we can stop letting these triggers control us. The pause technique. One of the most effective ways to manage these triggers is by using something I like to call the pause technique. Here's how it works. When you feel that anger or irritation bubbling up, stop. Don't react immediately. Take a deep breath, count to 5, or just give yourself a moment of silence. This simple pause gives you a chance to assess the situation and decide how to respond rather than react impulsively. You'll be amazed at how just taking a few seconds can completely shift the energy in a situation. Reframing your thoughts. Another powerful tool you can use is reframing your thoughts. Instead of jumping straight into judgment or anger, try to change your perspective. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of thinking, "What? An idiot," try asking yourself, what's going on in that person's life right now that made them act that way? Maybe they're running late, maybe they're stressed, or maybe they're having a bad day. Reframing your thoughts in this way helps you shift from anger to understanding. And when you understand, it's much easier not to take things personally. Setting healthy boundaries. Now, let's talk about setting boundaries. Boundaries are essential if you want to protect your peace. Think of boundaries like a shield for your emotional well-being. They're about making sure that you're not allowing others to cross the line and control your emotions. A lot of times, we get angry because we allow others to overstep our boundaries, whether it's someone being disrespectful or constantly demanding your time and energy. It's important to be clear about what's acceptable and what isn't. Setting boundaries is not about being rude or aggressive. It's about being firm and respectful. If someone is treating you in a way that doesn't feel good, it's perfectly okay to say, "Hey, I don't appreciate that." By standing up for yourself in a calm and clear way, you prevent others from having the power to disturb your peace. Letting go of expectations, one of the biggest reasons we get upset is because we have expectations of how people should behave. We expect our friends to always be supportive, our coworkers to be respectful, or our family to understand us. But here's the reality. You can't control other people's actions. And when you expect them to behave a certain way, and they don't, it leads to frustration and anger. But the moment you let go of those expectations and accept that people will do what they do, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. Imagine this. Instead of expecting someone to be kind to you all the time, you simply accept that they might not always be kind, and that's okay. You can't control their behavior, but you can control how you respond to it. When you do this, it's much easier to stay calm and unbothered. The power of compassion and forgiveness. Another key to staying unbothered is practicing compassion and forgiveness. You might think that forgiving someone means letting them off the hook, but that's not true. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the grip of anger. When you forgive, you stop carrying the weight of negativity. And trust me, it's much lighter to walk through life without carrying grudges. Now, practicing compassion doesn't mean you accept bad behavior. It means understanding that everyone is going through their own struggles. People act out for many reasons, often because of their own pain, insecurities, or frustrations. When you view others with compassion, it's easier to see their behavior as a reflection of them, not you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use this advice. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts or any techniques you've tried to stay calm and unbothered. Thanks for watching, and remember, your peace is in your hands.